I mean, it's not exactly what organic webs, but it's something. Anyway, hey everybody, this is Retrokid Reviews doing a week, almost and a half late review for probably the biggest MCU movie of the year, aside from Doomsday. I am, of course, talking about Spider-Man, Brand New Day. So, let's rip the most obvious band-aid out of the way. There will be some no spoilers for a while, mainly because I want to save any spoilers I most likely am going to forget for the things I missed section. And for anyone who's been wondering where I've been the last couple of days, family event stuff, babysitting houses, Connecticut being Connecticut, the whole shebang there. So, that out of the way, what is my overall thoughts with this movie before we get into the plot of it all? It's good. For a fourth solo, ish, but this time it's like legit solo, Tom Holland outing for the character when it comes to Peter and Spider-Man. You can definitely tell this is the closest, I think, this could be me outside looking into the DC side of it, like a Batman Forever kind of situation of can he handle both lifestyles of being, like, Peter on the day and Spider-Man for the rest of the week kind of stuff. It's that kind of like balance that I think has always been like the thing in any era of the comics. The fact it was stapled the Brand New Day title of it all actually kind of works. They didn't forget the wish from No Way Home. They didn't forget the spell that and all that noise. Cameos included with that. Not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. We'll also get to that in the spoilers when we get to the plot of this all. But the other big elephant and band-aid rip I gotta rip out of the way is the monumentally insane box office this made over the weekend. Yeah, apparently it pays to wait till Tuesday to see this. And even in my screening, I saw this on a Tuesday as of this recording, probably be out by tomorrow, Wednesday, if you see this, whenever it's uploaded, as far as this week goes. It was still a packed house, even on a weekday. Again, it's summer. Again, it's last days of it for anybody before going back to school and stuff like that. I understand, but no, this is going to make a couple of $1 billion. I don't say that lightly as far as this goes. So, yeah, I think the opening weekend was domestic here in the States, 350 to 380 million. Not kidding on that one. Might grow as time goes on this week alone. Let me check on IMDb's forecast of that. Okay, so it cracked that billion as of Tuesday worldwide. So, good luck to any of the fandom menace Snyder Bros that wants to actually superhero fatigue because hey, it beat your unrealistic standard. What do you do next? So, with all those stuff out of the way, let's just get to the obvious spoiler section and probably the majority of this review. So, if you have not seen this at all, I usually do sporadic spoilers here for the channel. I want to be upfront now, mainly because of how huge and monumental Brand New Day has been so far. And both Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jon Bernthal are having a roller coaster of a year with this and The Odyssey 2 weeks prior. I didn't do a full review of it. My family are big Nolan heads, and maybe someday I'll do a big, like, Nolan explainer video with my brother, him and I are big, like, Nolan hits since, like, the Dark Knight trilogy and stuff like that. There's only, like, a handful of his, like, early, like, filmography I really want to talk about. They'd probably make a tier list video with him, if anything else. So, and don't get me wrong, The Odyssey will have its day here on the channel for the end of the year content, so don't worry if you are a Nolan head out there. So, that being said, yeah, the plot of this movie is actually not bad. Getting to the ripping the most obvious other spoiler out of the room, if anyone hasn't already left, there will be time codes. We'll get you to the scores and everything like usual, all that fun stuff. So, where do I start? Let's start with just, like I said, with Tom. His version of, this version of Spider-Man has been almost, I guess, by next year, a decade in just on the solo movies. Decade total if you count most of his appearances throughout the Avengers films. Yeah, it is a bit of like a good, it's not like the best of like how he's handling like life now in his 20s, this version of Peter, versus like where he was, high school was throughout the Phases 3 and 4 era of Avengers. But yeah, it's very intriguing to see how much has changed in like the 5+ years, both I think in universe and I think real time wise now, obviously as theatrical releases go. So they are honoring that kind of like semi time jump commitment. They don't usually do that for the MCU, but they until Endgame they probably pretty much have to now for certain characters and stuff like that. Honestly, makes sense going down the road, obviously. That being said, you can definitely get like the isolation factor of like Peter like divorcing himself from his social life, divorcing himself of like even just knowing people around his block kind of stuff that he was really known to do just being a Queens kid. That shit's detrimental. Speaking that, I'm an actual Queens resident. I think I was trying to see what was going on during when Homecoming was coming out. This is a old lore spoiler for new subscribers. I actually am from New York, and I can tell you that kind of self-isolation is a thing. It's not prevalent throughout the movie, but you can get the idea of like he's seen stuff, he's done a lot. He's seen like a good couple of years of his 20s as a post Endgame Spider-Man, and you can tell it has its ups and downs. He still has the humor when he does fights with stuff like that. The Matt Gargan of it all for I forgot his name for Gargan. Oh, Michael Mandio. He looked great. He never left the role. I mean, it's only been like 9 years since then, but it's nice to have 2 fight scenes with him. Surprisingly, I thought there'd be one more, honestly, for the 3rd act, but who knows. So, one more big Band-Aid rip. Let's start with the Keith David of it all. Yeah, whatever was the marketing you probably saw if you didn't do a total media blackout, which I unfortunately didn't. No, it led you astray a little quicker than you thought. For Lisa Colin Zayas, who has been known here on the channel. I've been watching the Bear and been doing year-end videos with the Bear with my family. That will also be coming next year. Probably January content as well. Talk about my thoughts on the final season. So, and the obviously Bear special as well. Speaking of Bernthal of it all. I'm just jumping around the cast till we get to the obvious J word of it all. Just saying that nicely. Yeah, for Frank Castle coming back for Bernthal, it is a surprisingly okay version. I already did a review earlier this year for One Last Kill. You can tell a very jarring difference between the 2 versions of this version of Frank. John still does his, let me tell you something, isms and stuff like that. And it's now that we're here on the spoiler section, Frank, New Yorker to New Yorker, what the hell did you do in Staten Island? We're talking Staten Island here. Like a bunch of Long Islanders acting like a fucking mafioso. I get that, but it's Staten Island. Did you lose a bet to a Mets fan? What's going on here? Local hood aside, probably the first of handful of natural New Yorker / F-bombs aside, probably trying to keep this PG as I can for this channel aside. No, the humor, with him and Spider-Man just bouncing off of each other is the kind of chemistry I think Tom and John wanted to do for years, and you can finally see that finally paying off post post Odyssey of it all. Sorry, first day showings for me at least. First day I just came out of the theater. I'm stalling. Sorry. As much as I would love to do a second take, let's get to the Jacob Babylonia, the CEO of Sex himself, Ned Leeds. He did okay. Again, kept the humor good. Doing postgraduate kind of stuff. It was alright. It could be weirder. Zendaya as MJ again, just seeing like a different version of like this version of Peter and just not even understanding his whole life story because of what happened in No Way Home is a very heart-wrenching kind of like dynamic. You can definitely tell both want to like understand each other but don't really want to understand each other. Also, to her new boyfriend in this I guess Connie nowadays. Is it Paul? Is it not Paul? For comic readers, unconfirmed. Not even kidding. Maybe it is. Maybe it wasn't the casting and I didn't hear it or didn't hear it in the party scene. So I'll look back into it for the end of the year if anything else. Now to the villain. So yeah, last chance for anybody who made it this far into the spoiler section. But yeah, so where do I start the bidding at Sadie Sink finally being Jean Grey? It happened. And yeah, I might be talking more about that in the things I missed section. As far as her power set goes, well, 2 good news on that one. She actually did have a sister in the comics. I think there was a Claremont plan to make her a replacement for Jean after the Phoenix Saga, before going to Dr. Phoenix Saga. It was a whole weird rigmarole there. I found out on my Instagram reels as far as comic tubers go, so I will probably do further research into that, if anything else, just to keep my bases of anything. As for her as this version of Jean, it's not bad. The mind hopping was probably obvious, but there have been telepaths in the past that wasn't full blown mutants that Peter has faced in the past in the comics. So it was the worst kept secret when it comes to Sadie's castings. Weird as it sounds, again, shades of No Way Home again with like all the Spider-Mans coming back. It's that kind of like predictable if you follow the marketing, but at the same time, worth it. Not too crazy, if anything else. She is giving it her all in the third act. You can definitely tell. The plan was very simple, very correct, very effective trying to take down Damage Control, which I'm very happy that Damage Control is still here as a substitute for S.H.I.E.L.D. in case they ever want to bring back S.H.I.E.L.D. for whatever reason. Later down the road, post, I guess, Doomsday or Secret Wars in this case. But as like a weird organization has been holding that weird extrajudiciary mantle since Endgame, it is running a little thin, but in this particular case, it does add a layer to X-Men stuff with like maybe Sentinels and maybe power dampeners going forward. Now on to who got the shortest screen time. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, surprisingly. Yeah, I thought he'd have a bigger attribute time-wise for the screen time to basically help Peter figure out his new layer of adulthood with the arachnid powers of it that he's regaining, and getting like the organics and stuff like that. He is visibly weirded out. Apparently he just wanted to like I guess follow that up with everything you mentioned of like being semi-grossed out in No Way Home. That was a good follow-up to it, if anything else. This review is running long, sorry to say. I wish I could have all day to talk about this. I don't want to test my phone's patience any more than I already have. First take, I don't want to ruin it, if anything else. So let's just get to overall scores, and my overall thoughts on the plot is worth it. It's a very fun plot. The action is fantastic. You can definitely tell there's a lot of inspirations of like most of the games and stuff like that. That's Daniel Creighton who did directing duties for this, and I think Michael Giacchino came back for composing for the new writers. I believe Chris McKay and Eric Summers. They have the voice of this version of Peter down pat, and I hope to keep that going in future sequels going down the road for this new trilogy. Yeah, outside of that, big last spoiler before going into cards and scores. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I know it's a tease to him going to probably Secret Wars or Doomsday. In universe, Ned made a friend finder app for like Spider-Man sightings and stuff like that. Like, again, Pete is going through it, but Spider-Man wise, he's basically like mascot royalty as far as statehood goes here in New York. So you kind of get it. So, as for that, it actually had a cool cool app. I think in real life, for marketing for this movie. I would love to see an update for that, because that was one of those cool like choose your own adventure kind of like post web series kind of stuff that they used to do for marketing like this. I think since like, was it the Jurassic World movies? So, if that got updated in the website, let me know in the comments. I'll probably check it myself in the things I missed section, probably tomorrow. So, this will be a double upload in case you can also tell. Yeah, on to scores. It's a 10. It's a hard 9 out of 10 at first. It is in the high 10s. It wants to get there. There's nothing really too weak other than I wished all the fights he had in the montage for all his new enemies, like the Boomerang, Lonnie Lincolns of it all. They had a few speaking lines and stuff like that, just to like get like the celebrity cameos that everybody wanted to fan cast those villains out of the way, just to, like speed run through his like career so far as Spider-Man. Outside of that, there is one Yelena White Widow of it all that I am purposely leaving out for the things I missed section. So because of that, end card's finally coming up here to the things I missed playlist right here. Other hand here to my previous Toku video, talking about my overall thoughts so far with Omega Horn, and I will be doing a follow-up Tokyo News probably later this week for all the press conference stuff that just dropped as of yesterday on Kamen Mice, and now knowing that it's a 12-router series, kind of makes sense why there was 3 out of the gate for the posters and stuff like that, so I will talk about that probably by as weekend content to make up for any lost time. Obviously, sure, trying to be, I guess, civilian Pete here with the organics. Yeah, shirt here too, sub to channel, hit the notification bell down below. And yeah, overall and final thoughts before getting into this. This movie's a winner. Box office wise, plot wise, Daniel Creighton has definitely got an eye for what he wants to do with this version of Peter going down forward post Secret War. Maybe Doomsday if he does show up. I don't think he will, but I would love to see it regardless. So with that all being said, I am Retrokid Review saying, yeah, more of this Spider-Man. That's we got the formula. How do we do it again? Minus the organics. And also, are we getting Venom eventually? I thought there was a Man Spider. Was there a Man Spider? No, just me. Maybe sequels? Good call, Sony, regardless. And, yeah, speaking of Sony over here, I kind of want physical discs back. Just saying as a PlayStation owner. Just saying, Sony.